when West Bromwich Albion sacked Alan Pardew at the beginning of last month after a run of 8 successive Premier League defeats. The club were 10 points adrift of safety and bottom of the table. There were 6 games left. 3 of them were against Liverpool, Manchester United and Spurs. They were about as lost as a lost cause can get. They had been through 3 of the old guard of the English managerial game already. In one season, Tony Pulis, Gary Megson and Pardew had come and gone, and now West Brom were in a parlous and hopeless position. They were relegated in all but name. At that point, they appointed Darren Moore, who had been promoted to first-team coach in December 2017, as caretaker manager. Then something amazing happened. Moore galvanized the place. He transformed it. He turned a group of players who seemed to be more interested in joyriding in Barcelona taxis than winning matches into a team who suddenly got their pride back. Related articles. Previous one. The next Manchester United are becoming the dinosaurs of the English. Pep Guardiola has to pip all his worthy rivals to win. Daniel Sturridge heads to Monaco after enduring nightmare. Johnny Evans' agent wants £4 million if he seals £3 million. Share this article. Share 11 shares they won at Old Trafford. They drew with Liverpool. They beat Spurs. There was a point when it looked as if Moore might actually perform a miracle and pull off the greatest escape of all time. Southampton beating Swansea in the final week of the season put paid to that, but not before Moore had been made manager of the month for April. In 6 games, he had won more points than Pardew had won in 18. It was thought initially that West Brom's owners had reservations about appointing Moore as manager on a permanent basis. But in the end, a club that had made him their youth coach and promoted him to first-team coach under Pardew stood by him. On Friday, they gave him the job. It gave the club hope of a brighter future. West Brom deserve credit for their steady promotion of Moore. I'm sorry if that sounds a bit odd. I know that a man's work should speak for itself and he should be promoted or overlooked solely on his merits and the evidence of his performance. Sadly, those rules do not apply in English football when it comes to the appointment of black managers. Moore's appointment was a step forward for all aspiring black coaches in this country, but if we really want to use it as a catalyst for progress, then it must lead to an acceptance that there is a reservoir of talented black coaches out there who are not even getting close to being allowed to show what they could do. Say that, of course, and it elicits a stream of bile and abuse from trolls and bigots who scream that there is no proof of discrimination. Talk about the Rooney Rule, which requires NFL clubs to interview one BAME, Black, Asian and minority ethnic candidate for coaching vacancies and is gaining some traction here, and the bigots scream about tokenism and quotas. Wow, the proof they want exists partly in the numbers. The appointment of Moore at West Brom means there are now 6 black managers in English football. The others are Chris Hughton at Brighton and Hove Albion, Chris Powell at Southend United, Nuno Espirito Santo at Wolves, Jose Luhuke at Sheffield Wednesday and Dino Maria at Stevenage. That number has stayed fairly constant for the past couple of decades. It means that even though a recent survey showed that more than 30% of players in this country are from a BAME background, when you translate that to how many are trusted to manage a club, the figure is only 6. %. It also means a generation of black managers have been frozen out of the game here. More proof of discrimination? Well, how about anecdotal evidence from qualified black coaches who are routinely ignored by clubs when they apply for a job? Sure, there are qualified white coaches who are ignored too. I get that. But the evidence is that black coaches are ignored more often and more relentlessly. When you apply for jobs in football management, you realize how black you are. Former Sheffield United striker Brian Deane, who had to go to Norway to get managerial experience, said recently. One problem is that you don't have mentors or role models from your culture, and you don't have the same networks of contacts. For every Dean, there are tens and tens of other aspiring black managers with similar stories. They have worked and paid for their coaching badges, only to be ignored by all-white boardrooms. Maybe there is no outright racism in those personnel decisions, but it is hard to think there is not at least an unhealthy dollop of unconscious bias. I know that many aspiring black managers who have worked long and hard to try to get an opening at a league club were particularly dismayed when it was announced earlier this season that Joey Barton would be taking over next season as manager of Fleetwood Town. Barton had a reputation as a troublemaker as a player, and was jailed for assault and affray a decade ago. He is currently serving a ban for breaking FA betting rules. Even more pertinent for a lot of black coaches was the fact that Barton has no coaching experience at all, and yet, despite all these things, he walked straight into a sought-after job in League One. Still, there are some who deny that there is a problem. Where, they say, is this army of black coaches you talk about who are so desperate for jobs? It is as if they believe they are phantoms invented by the politically correct. That's just what they want to believe. The reality is very different. The PFA has a ready list of black coaches who have taken or are taking their coaching badges and are ready to be considering for jobs in English management. There are more than 100 names on the list. There were 15 pro license holders and a further 27 who have passed their UEFA license. Then there is a phalanx of B license holders too. So the numbers are there, and they are growing, although there is an increasing amount of disillusionment at the lack of opportunities out there for black coaches. Another recent survey showed that BAME coaches held just 22 of 482 leading roles in the English game. I hope that Darren Moore's success and West Brom's faith in him provides encouragement for those who were beginning to give up hope, but, sadly, the idea that his appointment proves the system is fair to black coaches is a fallacy. Fair comment, Jack. Jack Wilshere was roundly criticised in some quarters for having the temerity to say he believed he should have been in the England squad. I don't really understand why. Nothing Wilshere says is going to change Gareth Southgate's decision or affect his right to pick his 23, but there would be something wrong if Wilshere didn't believe enough in his own ability to think that he should have been on the plane. If he stays fit, Wilshere is far too talented not to force his way into contention for Euro 2020. If he stops believing that, he might as well quit. It was 10 p.m. when I arrived at the Liverpool team hotel on the Costa del Sol last week, and there was one player in the lobby, politely asking the front desk staff if they could furnish him with a leg for his PlayStation. The days of Newcastle United players and directors rampaging around the bars of Marbella and Puerto Banús on wild club breaks suddenly seemed like an age ago. Times have changed. Related articles: previous one, the next Manchester United are becoming the dinosaurs of the English. Pep Guardiola has to pick all his worthy rivals to win. Daniel Sturridge heads to Monaco after enduring nightmare. Johnny Evans' agent wants £4 million if he seals £3 million. Share this article. Share 11 shares.